Welcome, everyone, to another Entrepreneur of Color Spotlight. I am Kenyatta Ratliff, and I am the current president and CEO of the ColorBold Business Association. I am here today through a partnership with the Appleton Public Library, UW-Madison Division, and Winnebago County, as well as ColorBold, to present you with the Entrepreneur of Color Spotlight. We have a spotlight twice a month, every first and third Thursday of the month at 6:30 p.m. So today we are going to have an awesome business color. We're going to have an awesome business owner of color. Thank you. Of course, this partnership is to support and empower business owners of color in Northeast Wisconsin. And so today we are going to be speaking with Ramona Hallmon. She is a pastor, a motivational speaker, a life and health coach, and community leader. She is also the owner and president of Ramonavation LLC, the One Life Transformation Organization created to empower, educate, and encourage women to be their best successful selves. Ramona is impacting the world by transforming minds, bodies, and souls. Welcome, Ramona.
Hello, Kenyatta. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I know we're going to have a great time. And hello, everyone.
We are definitely going to have a good time. So again, her business is called Ramonavation. So can you tell us more about that?
So Ramonavation is me. So obviously, if you see my name, it is Ramonavation. My name is Ramona. My name is Ramona. And so Ramonavation really just came about it embodies everything that I am. And I feel that I motivate, I encourage, I inspire, everything that I do to really be able to help people, especially women. And my heart for women of color, it just embodies me. So that's when you hear the name Ramonavation, it's Ramona. And so I say that because you think about it, when you hear Beyonce, or you hear Prince, or you hear these different you hear people by name, you know them, and that's their whole brand. And so Ramonavation is me.
Okay, Ramonavation. So in your bio, it talks about how you educate, empower, and encourage women to be their best successful selves by their minds, body, and soul. Can you talk more to what that looks like in regards to their minds, body, and soul?
So the different things that I do, so I have, been that Zumba instructor, like really being able to get the body moving, their soul, in the capacity of being a pastor and being in the space to be able to encourage people and pour into them spiritually. And then when I look at the part of their mind, a lot of things that's going on in our minds, it comes with that coaching part to be able to get past any obstacles or challenges that may be coming in the way, but also being able to celebrate themselves. The whole piece of the empower and educating women to do this and being able to impact mind, body, and soul, it started even on my own personal journey. A lot of times when I was in corporate America and I was doing different things in the community and I would be doing things in church, it was almost like I had to be, I had to show up in corporate America a certain way. I had to show up in church a certain way. I had to show up in the community, but so much to the point where I began to stretch myself so far that I felt that it was like, what's happening? I felt almost like I was losing myself. And so I came into the realization through prayer and being able to take a step back is stop trying to show up differently in every arena as what everyone wants you to be, and show up as you in every space so that you can be free. And so that is really this space of empowering and looking at our holistic growth, our development, mind, body, and soul, and being able to show up as our best selves in every area, showing up as who we are and not what everyone else just wants us to be.
That's awesome. So when somebody wants to come and have this transformation done, is it usually done in coaching, one-on-ones, or is it group sessions, or how does that work?
So it is more so in this space of, it has been one-on-one. I've had that set up. However, it's going to, what I'm doing, and we're going to probably even talk about this a little bit more in detail, is shifting more into where we're going to be doing more group settings, because of what I have found the power and dynamics in group settings to be able to do to help push people and encourage people while giving them a group of individuals to be able to lean on instead of leaning on just one person. And so so to be able to have this transformation and in this space is going to be more into the group settings. And then there may be some sprinkles and spaces of where it can be some one-on-one.
So is it just women, or is it also girls as well?
So it is women and girls. And so I'm so glad you asked me this question. So under the umbrella of Ramonavation, there's different, I would say almost like different buckets under the umbrella of Ramonavation. So there is that part of different programs. Yes, that's under it. So like the program Shine. So Shine is more going to this space of empowering, educating, and pouring more into women of color, teen girls of color, because there is such disparity and so many different things that's happening when it comes to women of color. So the program under Ramonavation Shine is geared towards women and teen girls. And I really feel in my heart that sometimes we leave teens behind. Mm-hmm. And so I think that it is very encouraging and it is so helpful and it's so needed and necessary that what we are doing for our teens, it helps them to be able to push up, because guess what? Teen girls become teen girls become women. And so being able to things that we may say, wait till you're older, but they need to know about now. So to answer the question, I know it went around a long way, but the organization, my organization impacts women and teen girls.
Okay, that is awesome to include the teen girls, or the girls and teens, because like you said, they grow up into become women. And so can you speak more to some of the interactions that you will probably have in your programs with the girls or the women, or like some success stories or things that have been done to educate them and encourage them?
So yes, absolutely. So when it comes to, I'll start with the teens. So with the teens in this space, I would have meetings with a group of young ladies, and we would come together and we would pretty much meet once a month. And so in that time of us meeting, we were able to unplug, unwind, and then they would just have a space to vent. They would have a space to ask me as an adult that they saw as a safe place as an adult any question. I would tell them there was nothing. And when you open that up to teens, when you say there is nothing off limits, oh my goodness, just believe they will throw some stuff at you. And so being able to have conversation, even when it came to identity, things that they were dealing with, when it came to things at home, questions they had about their own, the changes in their body, just relationships, we would have these discussions. And so what I'm really grateful for in the success of being able to bring them together, it was some great successes that came out of it because of the connections, not only the group being connected to each other, them knowing that there is an adult that is in addition to their family that can wrap their arms around them. And so I would say one of the most heartfelt things is when I was able to, I was on Snapchat. It was more so for my teens, and being able to be reached out in the middle of the night when the crises happen, because the teen felt confident and close enough to be able to reach out before doing something that would have had some serious repercussions. And so being able to open that, and then now being able to build relationships with schools, to be able to go into schools and do the same thing with women, being able to go into conferences and meetings, but also being able to have the program shine, being able to give that safe space where women are able to be exposed to things that they probably wouldn't necessarily be exposed to, and then being able to have a safe space to cry, to lean on, to laugh. And so I'm just excited about what it has done and what it is opening the door to do more of, because with these different interactions, the success, not only with the personal successes of the individuals participating in it, the doors that is opening in the communities that the individuals live in.
That is awesome. So if you're watching us now, or if you're going to be watching on the replay, please input your questions or encouragement into the chat, and we will definitely respond to them. And then as well as Ramona will definitely be looking at them to see what you have to say directly to her. So Ramona, more about your business. So you said that you started this business based on your experiences and what you saw was needed. Can you speak more to the reasons what motivated you to start at the time you did this business?
So it's this is a good question. I love your questions. You're gonna always give me a question that makes me think. So in deed and in action and in work, Ramonavation has been operating for like 12 years, over 12 years. On paper, about 8, a little over 8 years. And so in the time that the work started that I was doing, when it came to just gathering women together and gathering teens together, it was just truly in my heart of I was looking for someone to do something. And it's like, nobody's going to do this. So why am I looking externally for someone to do something when internally it's in me? And so I'm that true believer of when it's something that is pricking your heart and really driving you, a lot of times that means that's for you to do. And so I began to do the work. And the work is, like I said, coming together, bringing women together to actually the first event that I kind of put on was women coming together and operating in their very own talents and bringing them together in this space to be able to be poured into. And so I saw that it was a need for connection, a need for positive role models. It was just everything that I could see that women were crying out for. And it's like, okay, how do I bring this together? And so that's really where it started. The steam started to get behind me to start to move forward.
Okay. So when you started your business, what do you think you would say to somebody who want to get into something similar as what you're doing, that would be the first thing that they should do?
The first thing they should do. All right. Y'all gonna be like, now she sounds churchy. You gotta name it. So first thing I would say is name it, meaning Ramonavation, the name, when I first said, okay, I want to do something, it was kind of like I was just doing me. I was like, okay, Ramona is just out here doing what Ramona feels needs to be done, as I speak as myself, as like a third person. But in this space of saying, you need to put a name to what it is you're wanting to do. And the reason I say this is because you think about it, when people have had, they, bring a child into this world and there's a baby there. Some people do the naming presentations, but how long does that child go without a name? Is it like, okay, 6 years, and it's like, we don't know this child name yet. Okay, 12 years. Okay, graduating from high school, no name. So being able to see the name, if you write it down, the very picture that is above my head, even when my business wasn't doing everything I wanted it to do, I could see my name. So I would say writing it down or naming it, and then writing out really what it is that you desire to do. There's a scripture that says, write the vision, make it plain, so whoever read it can run with it. And it's like being able to at least get your feelings, emotions, and everything out of what you want to do. And then that begins the trajectory of, okay, the next steps of what am I going to do next, and what part of my business I'm going to start to activate next.
That's good advice. From what I know about your business in regards to the name part of it, the motivation, about people like coming to you with questions about, their, fitness or mind or like spiritual things like that. Did that play any part of people already coming to you based upon upon things they saw in you to help you name it this also, or is it just
so it's so funny. So when it came to the naming of it, before I even took off into the business, I was like, Ramonavation, I actually wanted a name of a business, didn't even know it was really going to be a business. I was like, if I have a business, this will be the name. So the name Ramonavation has been around longer than even, like you said, when people would come to me for counsel or fitness or all these components. And when the name Ramonavation came out, the people who helped me name it was actually my family. I sent it out in a text and I was like, so if I have a business one day and I want to name it like Ramona something. And then, so that was the birth of the name. And it's so funny you asked the question of how, like, when it came to the spiritual aspect, the fitness aspect, that came, I had the name, but then me being operating in that space is what cultivated the what I would be doing in Ramonavation.
That's a very important key, to start operating in what you see, even if you don't have all of it all together. It's just start operating. So that's a great point you brought up. You mentioned about your family helping you with the name, but that's a good segue into my next question is, when you first started your business, did you have any support as you started?
So the first support would be family of like, you can do it. Family is always very encouraging of like, whatever it is you're going to do, go on and do it, right? Just like, don't talk about it, be about it. That part of the encouragement and the push of family of saying, whatever you're going to do it. And then when it came to support of like actually creating and making my business a business, my husband was like, look, yeah, you talked about it, you have the name, you're doing these things, you're doing so many things. We have to make it official and put it to paper so that you are governed and protected under your business. And so the support that came from my family has been amazing, and that is with the push to even sharpen me to be like, okay, what are you going to do? What are you doing? like tell me what it is. And then I would just have all these different definitions, and it's like, just that sharpening part that even my sister is like, okay, like help me see it. And so that aspect, then as well as when it came to like, that's the very beginning, but my journey is a little bit different, that I want to be able to, I think, let people understand. Some people may have this journey. I'm not trying to say I'm the only one who does it, but support looked different for me because of teachers and then the corporate work I was doing. So y'all may not know this until I say this now, is that Ramonavation has been in the works, but I have also worked in corporate America. So I would have that full-time job in corporate America and then have my business. So I was working simultaneously. Support from teachers looked like the teacher that I had in college that said, Ramona, I want you to go for this particular opportunity in this arena with this company. Even if you make a career out of it, great. But if you don't make a career out of it, while you are there, learn from the best, so that any mistakes you see them make, that you can gain that experience. So when you do what you do, you already had the experience so that you don't have to pay for what these companies can easily consume. So that support took me on a trajectory of, even when I worked in corporate America, I worked hard at my job and did what I needed to do. I showed up and did my job. But what I did, I was strategic in being able to say, how can what I'm doing, help my business?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how, so sometimes we look at support and it's like looking financially of like, like there was like not everybody trying to throw money my way and those different loans and that type of thing because of the type of business, because people be like, it's kind of a branding type business. But the first part of support came from family, teachers, and then the organizations I worked for, pushing me and giving me experience that's valuable that I didn't have to go pay for. If that makes sense.
It does. It makes a lot of sense. So since you've been in action now for a while, and at the beginning, you did not get any funding, things like that. Have you been able to get any other support since you've been in business in regards to funding or exposure since then?
Y'all, let me tell you. Okay, y'all like, okay, she up here trying to have too much fun. Like Kim Yatta. Absolutely. So when it comes to continued support, so the ColorBold Business Association, and then the connections and like, being able to have connections to know what's going on in the world of business, what is happening in our area, what's happening in the state, what's happening in the country, the opportunities and different things that are out there, being a part of the community and being a part of different organizations and going to different events and having some exposure to different things when it comes to grants and funding of that magnitude, being able to, yes, I've been able to apply for different grants to be able to do things in the community to impact the community even at a greater scale. So that type of funding and support has helped me to stretch even beyond the framework that I thought going in. I've been able to go further. So absolutely. So I know that being connected to organizations like ColorBold, like different community programs and different things, having those connections can help stretch you, because sometimes we're like, well, I can't find it. Then that means your circle is too small. That means the spaces that you are in is too small. So I have to come out of my circle. I have to come out of my comfort zone. Okay, here come the preacher right here. And then being able to step into spaces that will challenge you, because without stepping out on that, the opportunities that I've been able to come across, I would have never came across it.
That's awesome. You had mentioned earlier about you were working in corporate America and then also doing your business. How did you know when it was time to shift from your job to doing your business?
So I wish I could go into this whole profound, and I knew, and therefore I walked out and I just gave them a cake, right? And said that I'm out of here and it's time to go. So when it comes to my business, as I've been in corporate America, as long as pretty much my business has been in the world here, working there, I kind of had my business for real, like on the back burner. It kind of sat on the back burner of really launching it forward. However, I was doing little things. I was doing Zumba. I've been coaching people. I've been doing these the little things, the little steps. But looking back, I know that little hinges swing big doors. So don't despise the small things, just even if it's just a little bit. And so when it came to, it's like, all right, it's time for you to really go out into the deep. Y'all may remember a season of when COVID hit the earth. I don't know about y'all. Some of y'all may not remember that, But doggone 2020, things changed, it shifted, doors closed, opportunities, just different things started shutting down, right? And so in that space, the space I was in, it all shut down. There was changes, and then I was furloughed and I was released. But in the space of furloughedness, I know. Furloughedness. I had a talk with the Lord, like it was just a space of like, you're going to have to be comfortable and confident in what it is that has been placed on the inside of you and being able to go further into your business. And so when the job said it's time that, okay, we're done, no more, it was well with my soul, y'all. And so that's where really Ramonavation has been at the forefront. Ramonavation ministry just been pushing, y'all.
So in your bio, it talks about motivational speaker. I can definitely hear all the motivation that you're giving and the excitement as well as the wisdom and knowledge. So I can definitely see you in that role of being a motivational speaker. So what have you noticed or learned about being in business?
So what have I noticed about being in business?
Yeah, so more so, what have you learned about being in business, or any growth that you've seen to where you hadn't known at the beginning, but now going through it, you see it or learned it now?
So I would say first, what I have grown in and learned is chew the meat, spit out the bone. For the vegetarians, eat the apple, don't eat the core, right? Okay, let me explain what I mean by that. When it comes to business, and what I've seen is, it is so easy to begin to look and to see what others are doing and trying to, like, it's good to be able to see things to kind of elevate you or push you, but you can't be gone with the wind of like, and I'm gonna do this and 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 try to do everything at one time, because it gets tiring. You burn out. You be like, whatever with this. And so in this space of whatever it is that you are looking at doing, I would say in this space, what you need, take that part, and the rest, leave it. And being able to focus. And this is why when I said to name it and then write it down, is it really helping you get to where you're going to go? What you are following on social media, is it helping you get to where you want to go? What you are listening to, the podcast, whatever it is it really helping you to get to where you want to go? And then what is shared in that capacity, take what is needed to help you get to the next space, and then the rest push aside, because you can end up getting jumbled up. And I say that because I was getting jumbled up of like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and this. And then it's like, you'll begin to look and see, and it's like, okay, I'm not as far as I want to be. And then I begin to start to turn a little bit. And it's like, okay, this person's business seemed to be going further faster. So what am I doing wrong? Mm-hmm. And so now I'm trying to grab what they're doing, but it's not working for me. Why? Mm-hmm. Because it's not for me. So I would say that part of chew the meat, spit out the bone, of like truly taking what is needed for the nourishment of what you're doing and leave the rest alone.
That apple was funny. If you are a vegetarian,
vegetarians is enough. Don't eat the core, y'all. Don't eat the core.
So what is one thing that you are proud in about your business?
Proud in. So one of the things I'm proud of is, okay, so this poster behind me, as I'm trying to point at it, it doesn't have the little R at the end of the N, like for registered trademark on it, because this was made years ago, this poster. But my business, Ramonavation, my name is a registered trademark, meaning everybody, y'all can't touch my name. Y'all got to pay me to use my name. But what is under my business is governed and protected. And so my husband has been like he be marching down the field. He be taking care of stuff, making sure that everything stays in order. And so I'm very happy and proud of that, because it made me, when I saw the little certificate you get when you have a registered trademark, they send you one, it has this gold seal on it. It's like, you are official, girlfriend, you know? And so it was that, like, boom. Like, I know people on social media, they be looking for that little verified stamp and all that. I ain't there yet, but guess what? My name is there. My name is there. So very proud of that. And I'm proud of the evolution of my business. When I first wrote it down, and like I said, when Ramonavation first started, it was like, I just knew I'm gonna have a business one day and it's gonna do something. And so seeing it from then to, okay, what am I going to do? And I'm just gonna do me, because my definition was just me. And then like, what's Ramonavation? Me. To if anybody, that is really not sustainable. Because people make you say more, right? But then to be able to see and walk into that space of what I do. So to see the evolution of where my business has come to, and then to be able to stand on the precipice to see where my business is going to be in the future.
That's cool. So what do you see that's in the horizon for Ramonavation?
So stand on this mountaintop with me as we look over. So when it comes to the horizon of Ramonavation, in the near future, really kicking off, even coming into 2023, it's going to be group sessions of group coaching sessions that will be going on, that is going to be helping with life. It's going to be group coaching sessions that's going to be helping with health, getting us on those journeys of making sure that we are the most healthiest us, right? That we're eating right, that we're taking care of our bodies. And so being able to do that, I'm super excited about, is what's on the horizon for people to be able to connect even more with me. So, yeah.
So that's cool. So let's say in 5 years, where do you see Ramonavation?
So I see Ramonavation, the organization, taking me into spaces international. I want to be able to say Ramonavation has gone international in that space. And then without giving it all away, see, I can't tell y'all everything. Y'all can't tell everybody everything. But I give y'all enough that y'all want to be able to be on the lookout. Is I really see Ramonavation stepping into the space of, when it comes to kind of that digital experience with the AI, the technology of technology. I think I can see technology playing in a virtual space. Y'all just hold on to that. Technology, virtual space. Just hold on to that.
Technology in virtual space.
Hold on. Hold on to that. Y'all be like, so just wait and see.
She said that too, and look at this. But that's awesome. We definitely look forward to everything that Ramonavation has coming. You mentioned earlier about the women and the children, the teens, all the work that you're doing, and then all the grants and things like that you need or have had to support your work. Is there any needs that you have as far as building or continuing in what you're doing?
So I would say the need would always be for, well, not always be, the need where I am right now, I would say would be more connection. And what I mean by connection is, for what I'm looking at doing, I want to be able to connect with more community organizations that are not just talking about wanting to help women and teens of color, not just talk about it, the ones who really want to be able to put their money where their mouth is, right? And so being able to say, what can we do? What can we do to help build? And so in that spaces of being able to say, how can we support financially, to be able to give the exposure to women and teens, to be able to get to those things that's going to help them mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, everything that makes them up. So when it comes to that, looking for the connection, looking for funding to be able to help build on the programs that we're doing, to be able to not, so on the program side, there's programs where the funding is needed so that people don't have to, that can't afford it or can't afford the experience of what is happening, that there will be able to be scholarships and programs to help to be able to get the people the exposure they need.
Okay. So any last words that you want to give to a person of color or any person that's in business that is watching this live or the replay about business in general, or anything that you've learned? Or also too, there are supporters that will be seeing this live as well, that may be working for a organization or a company. Is there anything that you want to say about your experience or business in general?
So I would like to say so let me speak to the organization side. So for organizations, I would say that there are so many people that need support. And what support looks like is not just saying that we are doing something, but really being about helping and development and pushing people forward, and being able to use the organization structure to be able to empower people to do the things that corporations have the funding and the words and the like everything that a corporation can have to help move things forward. So I would definitely encourage you to connect with organizations that are doing the real work so that the organizations can go further. And that's even with being able to connect with me as well. When it comes to business owners, I would say, in the words of my father, keep the main thing the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. Like really being able to say, this is what I want to do, and being able to have that vision in front of you, stretch out beyond your circle and your space, and just really go for it. And then don't be ashamed, or don't let the voices in your head or people say things to keep you from stretching out and trying to kill the dream, push the dream aside. If people are doing that, then it's definitely time to stretch out. But stretch out, stay focused on what it is that you're wanting to accomplish, and keep pushing. Keep pushing.
Thanks so much, Ramona. Definitely enjoyed this interview with you. If you, again, are watching us live and or on the replay, definitely put your comments in the section or encouragement words, and we will definitely see them and give them over to Ramona. If you would like to connect more and learn more about her organization, RamonaVation.com. RamonaVation.com is here, right here on the screen here. And do you have any social media platforms that is probably easier to contact you on, or is this the best?
So it is the website, but then of course on social media, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. My Snapchat is more for my teen group, but all of my platforms, you will find me on Ramonavation. Again, that's the purpose of the registered trademark, y'all. No one else can have that name.
That's awesome. So definitely connect with Ramona Hallmon of Ramonavation at ramonavation.com. And if you are a business owner in Northeast Wisconsin, or that is a person of color, please, if you would like to be featured live in our Entrepreneur of Color Spotlight, you can email Yee at Appleton Public Library at yvue@apl.org, or you can also email us at ColorBold Business Association at gmail.com. Again, ColorBold Business Association at gmail.com, so you can be featured just like Ramona Hallmon just been featured for her business. If you are an organization and you know a business owner of color in Northeast Wisconsin, please let them know about what is going on with this partnership with Appleton Public Library, UW Extension Madison, Outagamie, and Winnebago County, as well as the ColorBold Business Association, so that they too can be featured in our spotlights, as well as get connected with other organizations that can help them as well. So until next time, everyone, we would like to invite you to come back and listen to other entrepreneurs of colors in Northeast Wisconsin as we support them and giving them exposure as people can learn more about their business. Thanks again, Ramona.
You're welcome.
Until next time.